Hello. Let me know. I'm trying some new technology today. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Oh boy. Oh, wait a minute. You said, I think just as I was moving on, it says, can you hear me? Oh, Unbiased said yes. Oh, so guess what, you guys? I think I have another camera connected today, and I'll show you for a second. Dun, 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 dun. All by myself. Well, not totally by myself. Today, yes. But let me take this off stage. Yes, that's over at the sewing machine so that you can try. I can try to show you without that reverb in my ear on the sewing machine what I'm working on. So I will start again. Hello. Welcome in. If you're here on the replay, I thank you. You'll notice that there are some ads when you come in now. I appreciate you guys listening to the ads because I've been monetized for a long time, but I turned the ads on, I think once or twice, but I have some projects that I want to work on. I need some funding for it, and that will help because I'm not getting any compensation from YouTube, and I want YouTube to pay for the content at least. One of the things I was able to do, I have given a pillow, one of the neck bone pillows, to a little girl in a wheelchair, and I got a second request for her to get one, which I will do soon. But it costs money for the fabric, for the stuffing, and my time, of course, is free, but it still takes some effort. But just to get the supplies is good. So let me welcome in Unbiased LLC, Maria Graham. I do hear a little echo somewhere, but it's far over there. I may have to take it off, but I will see. I will see. I put the earplug in because I thought that would help with that one. But you guys let me know if it gets too bad. I might need another earphone, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. So, welcome in. Today, what we're going to do is work on my mother's super king size denim quilt. Oh, Dolores said you don't hear an echo. Okay, Tamika Davis. Thank you for coming and welcome. Thank you, Dolores, for coming, and I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. I'm not trying to grow a super channel. I like a small, intimate channel. I have the people that come regularly. I appreciate each and every one of you. And by the way, Unbiased, I saw your little fancy nails while you were doing sewing the other day. I'm like, oh, they see my nails. Get the I can't get the polish on them and get them cute like her. Maria Graham loves the top I have on. This is one of my birthday tops I got in Arizona for my birthday last year. I had forgotten about it until today. I was looking for something lightweight because I'm going to be swinging that denim around. So, what's going on in my life? If my rotator cuff will let me pick up this heavy book that was in my mailbox today from Baker Creek. Accidentally flipping down some pages. I can't wait to see what all that stuff is, all the new stuff. all the new stuff. What else is going on in my mail? I don't know how many of you have credit cards. I have a couple. I actually ain't got no money, honey. Sorry, mother. But I live on a fixed budget and my retirement. But I have credit cards enough to have really good credit. So I got a letter from Capital One, and I have a major card with them, and they're telling me that I have to use my card. Oh, it's scheduled to close my account on November 6th, 2024, due to inactivity. If I want to keep it open, I have to use it before then. And I have like 90 cents in cash back rewards if I would like to redeem it, blah, blah, blah. Hi, Erica Taylor, driving but listening. Thank you. I appreciate you. So I'm not putting my plane ticket on here this year to go to Arizona. I don't think I will be able to go. I've got other things going on, some medical things, some dental things, and I need to stay here. And I'm going to spend a month there in April and May for some big days for her. So, how many of you, hey, Mike's Chaotic Gardening, Erica Taylor, I said was driving and listening. So, how many of you had credit cards? And the reason I want to keep this credit card open is because if I close it, when you close the accounts, it does something to lessen your credit score. So I'll use it, put something on it, and then pay it off just to keep it. My little savings account on my, what is it, on my checking and whatever, they said you have to do this. I hate when people have your money and tell you what you have to do with it. I could have put it in a sock in the drawer under my mattress, or like grandma, just kept my bosom stuffed. Could have done all of that, but they sitting there hating. So what else I got in the mail is a catalog from the JCC. What is the JCC? It's the Jewish Community Center, which is the closest one to me and the one that I attend. Unbiased says facts. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. And I say damned like the Bible, mother, not cussing. But I don't know. You don't know what to do or which way to go. Always need to keep a little bit of cash because sometimes you can't get to the ATM or whatever, or the banks are closed, stores. We had a complete shutdown not too long ago, and you go to the gas station to get the cheap gas, you pay cash for it. If you put it on your card, it costs more. Mike saying, hello, mother. Hello, hello, hello. Auntie Joanne is at a meeting, but she said she was going to check in later. So this place has so many activities. There are very few people who look like me when I go there, but I don't go there to see who looks like me. I go there for the services, and they have very, very good services, and they have a nice, nice, nice pool. I'm told, though, since I've been trying to get these locks in my hair, that you're not supposed to swim in chlorine. I have a good cap, but I don't know if I should risk it. I do know that water aerobics are really, really, really good for you. So that's what came in the mail. Then I got one card, kind of sad, where it says Auntie Ellen Pankey. Oops. Oh no, it doesn't have her address on it. But 10 years ago, I had some health problems. I actually had a traumatic brain injury, and I had to give up living on the homestead on 4 acres and all that stuff, all those animals. Marie Graham saying, hello, mother, mom, Clara Pankey. And so I had one of my dogs, my Cane Corso Italian Mastiffs, was a 6 month old that I was training for the house dog, the loose dog, Hershey's friend, along with Hershey and his wife. His wife is no longer with us. She She joined, what do you call, Rainbow Ridge about 3 or 4 months ago. But this was a long written note telling me about Athena. And Athena was 11 years old and she went home to glory. She was such a good watchdog. And I gave her to Michelle, this Michelle, and she gave the dog to her mother. Her mother had horses and stuff. Donzel Cooper, hello and welcome in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And she's saying that her mom loved that dog so much. And she says, I love you, Auntie. XOXO, Michelle. All right. So that was my mail. I love getting mail. I love when you guys leave comments in in the chat that's here now, in comments later on. Oh, so I've got all this technology going. I think I showed you over there at the sewing machine. Dun, 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 dun. So that will be my extra camera. I also have, even though I'm not doing it right now, and I want to close this part down, I have which I just did, I have my iPad working so that I can see you on big. On big, and hopefully type, but that's too many things. That's too many things. I am 75 years old. I'm fighting technology, but I'm learning it nonetheless. And it is what it is. You guys, please appreciate the fact that old dogs can learn new tricks. And I'm learning new ones. And Hershey, I'm not talking to you. You want to be a star today? He's gotten used to coming over when I'm talking to you guys and getting picked up. Auntie Joanne Stevens says, hello. Good afternoon, Sissy, and to all in the live. Hershey, did you want to say hello? You did. He wants to be picked up. He's such a baby. So, Mr. Hershey, for those of you who know, is my therapy dog. You see, today he actually has his vest on because we came in not too long ago. He always wears it outside, and he hasn't left my side in 10 years. He just, all he wants is to be near his mother. When I was legally blind, he would bark if somebody was in my blind spot or if I didn't see something. He's such a good dog until you try to touch me. Like, I have aides here sometimes, and they have to do certain things, or after surgery they want to give me soup or do something. As long as the aides don't get between him and me, we're fine. But I have to tell them, like when they reach out and they touch me or something, he's gonna bark like crazy, scare the poop out of him, because you think he's just a quiet little lap pet. But he lets you know that's his mama, and he's sitting there now. He's so funny, between me and the door, just watching it. I have what's not a mail haul, but I have something I want to show you guys. And one of my neighbors brought me some tea. One of the ladies that I cook for all the time, but she doesn't eat anything. She's Jewish, but not. She eats kosher stuff and keeps a kosher kitchen, but she eats my food, and I could fix foods that I prepare for her a certain way. But she came down and she left me some wonderful tea. She knows that I love tea, and this one is hibiscus raspberry currant. I can't wait to try it. It's caffeine free. It says this tea is a celebration of fruit, deeply aromatic, vibrantly crimson, and a perfect blend of sweet and tart. A refreshing and surprising cup. I can hear the volume slightly on that other one, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. And there was another tea from her, vanilla chai. How many of you like tea? Put a 1 in the chat if you like tea. if you like different teas, I grew up on Lipton tea. And in the summertime, mommy would put orange juice in it and mint from outside in the garden. So this is another one. Unbiased said she likes tea. How many of you put a two in the chat if you're growing herbs that you're drying for tea? Oh, she likes love tea. Auntie Joanne Stevens has big jars of tea. I know that for a fact. That was nice of her, Auntie. It was. And I wasn't even here, and she left it on my door with a bag of treats for Mr. Hershey. That's actually how I met her before she moved in the building. I was at the park and she came by one day and she saw his little red jacket, means that he's a service dog. And she came over, she picked him up and petted him. And she told me about the dogs that she had years back. Hey, our treasured home, Nancy, thank you for coming. One only when you're not feeling well. I like tea. I like coffee. I drink a quart of the hibiscus tea every day. Our treasured home is trying to grow herbs for tea. You can. I have grown, not this year because I was in Arizona, and then I had surgery earlier this year and I didn't get out there. I usually have tons of ginger, tons of turmeric, Turmuric. Spell check always tries to mess me up. And I dried it in my dehydrator and grated it up. And I had some niece daughters come to visit a few weeks ago, and I gave her a little jar of it. What I should have done is put it in a smaller jar and kept some for myself. But I do have a bunch of stuff, all kind of dried herbs. And for those of you who do dry your herbs, you know what? After you dry them or dehydrate them, I leave mine whole. I don't have a jar over here, but I can show you. I only grind it up when I'm going to use it in small amounts, and I keep it in the smaller jars. It stays fresher longer because it's not exposed to the air and oxidation. So, before we go to the sewing machine, and I can show you how I piece these blocks, how I chain piece them. I had two of the blocks. I have a long-term commitment. I'm making blocks for a strip quilt. So that was block one. This one I did live was block two. And I made a commitment of doing two blocks a week. So I did them off camera, and I want to show you what I did. So this is block three to show you that I did. Why do I always, my arms are always tired. Why am I holding it up? So this is block three. Thank you, Sissy. And they're very random. They were the blocks as I picked them up. And these are the blocks that I've collected over 25 years. And some of them are really, really old. Some of them are new. Some of them are African, Afrocentric fabrics. Some are batiks. And they're all mixed around. Whoops. Forgot I had this earpiece in. Just showing you that I did my homework. And this is block number four, the weirdest block. And I think I told you about an unfortunate situation with a quilt. My saddest thing when I did an art quilt, a commission piece, and these blue and white fabrics that looked like sea waves were in it, but it was part of my life and learning about dealing with people. Dealing with people. Let me mute that for a minute. Sorry, you guys. Somebody was at my door. You love number 4? Oh, thank you, Unbiased. This is the one that had these with a story, but every piece in here is a story. Some of them came from pieces that were gifted to me, pieces that were really, really old, like this one. This one came from my friend's grandmother, the Quilting Sisters. There were 4 sisters in New Haven, Connecticut. There's a book by the Delaney sisters, which is about a bunch of sisters who, I believe that was the one, their father was a janitor, and all 6 of them became doctors or something. So this is the 4th block. I'm going to keep going. That quilt will have 6 blocks across and 7 down. I always map them out so that I know where I'm going. So, you guys, okay, I had so many things I want to show you when I. No, I'll wait until I get to. Maybe I won't get to that again. So, this I want to show you when I'm making the blocks like I showed you before. This is a cutting board. This board must be 20 years old. It's actually coming apart because I've dropped it so many times. And this is what it looks like. It rotates so that when you're trimming the blocks, instead of turning the block around, you turn the quilt around. The other thing I use, because those are 6-inch blocks, this is an what they call an easy square ruler. There are lots of rulers out there, but I like this one with the plain black lines. The ones with the yellow lines are good on dark fabric, but for me, this one is much simpler to see. It's called an easy square. My sister Joanne has started doing some block quilting. I will let her come up. Joanne Stevens says truly unique artistry. You guys, my sister never quilted, never asked me for any instruction, and she has made some of the most beautiful blocks out of some really nice fabric. I asked her if she will come up and show us because hers are done completely by hand. Completely by hand, no sewing machine. And I know some of you don't sew or like the artistry of creating things by hand. One of you in the audience, one of the members and patrons said that her quilting group she goes to, when they want to do the fancy quilts, they're doing it all by hand. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you. And now, Mother, I'm going to work on your quilt. Yes, this one is for you, Mom. But guess what? You have no idea how it's going to look until it's finished. And the name of this episode today is Tiny Space Sewing Huge Quilts. I should say huge denim quilts because this quilt is made of all upcycle jeans. Joanne Stevens says she'll come up live Saturday. Oh, that's good because all I'm going to be doing is a no bake lemon pie and show you guys Auntie Ellen in the kitchen. I haven't done it. Ah, I haven't done any cooking live ever, 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 ever. So that's why I'm testing out this extra camera over there. And without further ado, do any of you have any questions before I start sewing? Because I will have my hands full with one camera, two camera, trying to sew and not knock anything over. I haven't even dropped anything. Donzel Cooper says no, no questions. Okay, well look at this, you guys. Just 1 minute. I heard something. I don't know. So I will. Oh no, what am I doing? Sorry about that. So, you guys, look, there is the sewing machine waiting for you. Yay! Unbiased is the one who told me months ago to send an email to myself. Auntie Joanne Stevens says she's working on a larger block tonight. Oh my goodness. You guys, sewing by hand is actually the most therapeutic. It's something about you moving your hands that whatever's on your mind, you forget about it. It's hard to figure out where your next stitch is going, what color you're going to do. Queen, you can just make your sewing camera big and single fold. Yes, I'm going to do that when I go over there, but I just wanted to thank you while I can see you. And a solo view, and I wanted to make sure that the camera was where I wanted it to be and not some jacked up place. Maria Graham says, Joanne, so proud of you working on a large block. And she's doing it by herself. She hasn't asked me for any input, anything. Last night, 1 o'clock in the morning, she showed me 3 finished blocks, which means she was working on it for some time because it takes me 2 hours to do a block, to do one block on the sewing machine. So let me get my tissue. Thank you, thank you, thank you, each and every one of you. Are any of you creating anything, painting? I'd love to have you up. I would love to have you up. And Joanne says she will come up Saturday. Thank you, Sissy. So let me entertain you. You guys, slowly I turn, inch by inch, step by step. I know I hear something. That reminds me of, oh, I don't want to change the view yet, but I want to tell you a funny story about Auntie Joanne telling me about being careful, what I wish for. A couple weeks ago, Miss Shirley, OG Gardner, was telling me about the pouring down rain over there. And I was like, I wish we had some rain. Baby, it poured in Connecticut. Houses washed away. People went away rolled away in their cars. Unbiased made a scrap skirt today for a little girl. You know what I want to do with you, Unbiased? I would like to work on one of those flary skirts with you and who was it? Crafty Leo. So I know you guys mentioned it one time. I'm going full speed ahead. My mother's birthday is Sunday. Happy birthday, mother! And she doesn't like me telling her age, but I'm so proud that she's 93. She understands everything. You know, she's still living at home lovingly thanks to Sharita, my granddaughter, and her family. And I'm just so proud to be my age and still have a mother. And she loves watching this show. She won't have time Sunday because it's her birthday. And we're all going to gang up on her and hang out. So she won't have a time to get me to myself. She'll get me to myself. And she's the type of person, if you do something as an adult, if we were a kid, oh, you got checked right then. It was not spare the rod and spoil the child. If you acted up in public, guess what? You're going to get checked in public. But now she'll wait if you do something and she'll call you aside, whether it's good or bad. Or she'll tell me, you were talking fast. When you talk fast, you should slow down. A happy 93, Mike. She will be 93. Whoa, I'm so happy for you, Mother. Before I start sewing, I have a couple show and tell things that I have over here. So I'm trying to figure out which camera to use. Okay, so I will make this one solo. Ta-da. Okay, go Nana, go Nana. It's your birthday. So, you guys, this is not Dolores in the background, you guys. This is me, myself, and I, Auntie Ellen with her big girls on, trying to figure all this out. So, I'm turning on my sewing machine because I want to show you something. The jean quilts really fray a lot. Now, I'm trying to remember which camera. So, actually, I'm going to do this because I want to show you. This is a small rotary cutter blade, but it is a zigzag one, meaning, and you have to be careful because it is a blade. Just making sure there are not two of them in here. I have a bigger one. This is for the 28 millimeter rotary cutter. And this can be a replacement for the dollar store one. The Dollar Tree has one with a small blade in it. You can put this one in it, and when you cut the edges, it keeps them from fraying. It's like zigzag scissors. Hi, Kenneth Wilkinson. Thank you for coming, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So these are just tricks that you can use when you're cutting fabric. I always keep my blades in a little case so I don't accidentally grab them. More show and tell when you're sewing jeans or anything that's really thick. This is called a jig, and you put it on your sewing machine on the side, like say the jeans are on the left side, which is the right over here. You put this on the opposite side so that it doesn't so it's not uneven. It levels up the sewing field. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, and these are little things like show and tell, you're sewing. Sometimes you get thread, and I saw one of you on your live, and the thread was tangling up. Well, I like to buy all-purpose thread for hand sewing. And I forgot how to open this thing for hand sewing. But this is a kind. This is a kind of. Uh-oh. Oh, so what just happened? A phone call came in and knocked me off. There you guys are. I would used to be in Wonderland when that happens. So it was probably a knock at my door before when Hershey was barking, and she's probably calling to tell me that she called or left something. But anyway, this is some wax, and you see the line in it. It's for hand sewing, and you run your thread through here, and it makes it so that it slides more easily. Again, this is like 10, 15 years old, more than 10, because I have it hand sewn for a very long time, like to a large extent. Okay, the last thing I want to show you, and I don't know where I got them, I've had them for over 10 years, and these are what they call quilting needles. Holding it up straight to the camera. But what I like about these for hand sewing, Auntie Joanne Stevens, what I like about these are they have the gold tip on the end, and it makes it easy to see how to thread it, at least for me. But I have vision impairment. You see how they are, and they have nice big holes for threading the needle for hand sewing. So I guess you can Google quilting needles, and the big box stores, Amazon, whatever, will have these. These I've had, and Auntie Joanne Stevens, I'll put some of them in your next package, and they come in multiple sizes. Oh, and by the way, the name of it is the betweens. These will are betweens. I see your question on bias. I'll get to it 1 minute. Oh, Joanne Stevens says I gave her some of those needles. Okay, good. No, the doll needles unbiased are long. They're like this, and the reason they're long, I don't know if you remember like rag dolls you used to see, Ragdoll Annie or something. Well, when you make it, they're long and they go through like a whole doll's arm or the face or the neck, and it goes through there. They're the very long needles for making dolls. I bring it every day. Kelly was watching you too. Don't know if I got back to leave a comment, but I binge watch on TV. I have to rest my eyes. T Hop 42. Thank you for coming, Anthony, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I bet you're surprised I know your name, but I know you from other channels, and I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you because good friends become family, and family is everything. And it touches my heart that since I've been on YouTube, I have touched the hearts of others who are trying to sew, trying to quilt, trying to do something different. My friend Jessica, that was her first time ever touching a sewing machine. And now she has ordered her own just like this. I need to call Singer. Another person who is here in the chat has purchased the Singer. This Singer Heavy Duty is a really good beginner machine because it's all manual, doesn't have any computers to die on you or get messed up. Oh, Unbiased said I touch her heart. Aw, thank you, Nieta. When I first met her, she asked if she could call me Nana. I feel like she's my granddaughter. She could be. She could be. You are all my family. You are all my family and my faithful family, I might add. So, going back to the topic for today, I'm going to put this over here and forget it. But the topic for today, well, before I do that, I just want to show you that the needles that I use for quilting, I don't know if you can see this, they're called betweens. I guess they're between this and that, between the short embroidery needles and ever, but I like them. I remember Daddy used to tell me, and these are all different sizes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'll probably be using the big ones because I don't see that well, and I don't like little things. But yeah, here is what they're called if you want to know a name other than quilting needles. If you are in the chat and you have a channel, oh wait, I want to show you one more thing. For those of you who are hand sewing, some of you use a thimble, some of you don't. I want to show you some of the tricks and tools I use. This is a thumb thimble for when you're sewing and you want to push it through with your fingers or your thumb. This is what a thumb thimble looks like. Do I use it often? No. Do you need one? No. It's just tricks and little things that make your life easier. And then, whoop, of course, I have to drop something. I keep an extra long screw. This goes in Singer machines. I know that because I generally like Singer machines. And this is a 1/4 inch foot. One side is a 1/4 inch, the other is an 1/8 of an inch. And it goes to this one, you have to put it on with a screw. But sometimes the screw that you get doesn't fit or it's real tight. So I have these extra ones in here. And you know what this is? Sometimes you get the tiniest screw. dealing with a sewing machine on the innards when you start learning how to repair them, or like when you want to tighten the screw in the bobbin case. This is what I use. Where did I get it? I don't know. I've had it probably before any of y'all were born. Hey, Yankee sister, my sister from another mister. Hola. Welcome in, Bente. So she's saying hello, everybody. So if I missed anybody, I am sorry for it. Let me pull this out. I don't even need it. I don't even know why I have it in, other than to keep that reverberation in the background. Excuse the booty, my booty, my booty. So I'm going to put this up because I don't need it, other than, or maybe that's why I was hearing something in the background, because, okay. Now, can you guys still hear me? Can you put a one in the chat? Yankee Sister says, I see y'all trying to get tricky over here. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. I think you can. I think you can. Okay. So, yay. So I'm trying all this new stuff. Woo! Got me working. And without further ado, ta-da! Now that you can hear me, I want to show you that I have blue thread in the top. Okay, I don't know why she's saying the cell phone is supposed to be muted. It says the mic is muted. I'm not sure. Black Guns and Gardens, thank you for coming and welcome. Well, if you hear any noise that becomes unbearable, put some nines in the chat and I will stop immediately. So I have blue thread in the top, white at the bottom, because I'm going to be sewing jeans, and I'm actually just being lazy. I hate partial bobbins, so I'm going to use blue in the top and white in the bottom so that you can see it, the difference, at least at first. And this one, I like sewing in columns. Janet, thank you for coming. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I believe that's Janet from Almost Janet Homestead, or I'm probably saying it wrong. But anyway, I like to lay my blocks out in columns. I don't know if you can. This is number 3. And my mother's quilt, I'm doing blocks 3, 4, and 5. In the middle, I just kind of made a rough diagram. Uh-oh, let me show you. Okay, I kind of made like a rough diagram. It's going to be a really big quilt, 112 inches by 96. So what I did is I laid it out on the floor of this tiny apartment. If you live in a tiny home, I have a friend who has a business, an embroidery business, and she lives in a school bus with other buildings. So, turn the volume down on the phone. I tried. I can't. Maybe I'll just have to take that one off because it says it's muted and I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. Or maybe, so I guess I'll have to take this one off camera because I don't want to fiddle with things. And I just got it where I can actually. Oh, wait a minute. I have an idea. Nope, don't leave studio. Stay. See, I'm touching stuff that I can't see. I say Okay, now the camera's off. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so you guys, thank you for the comments, but I'm going to. It says, now it's off camera. See, that's why I try. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can get it back. There it is. So, this is OJT, you guys. OJT. Ah, she said, leave it. I tried. I tried. I tried. I tried. I tried. I tried. Woo. Okay. Never let them see you sweat. That's okay. Leave it. Everybody says leave it. Okay. So, this is basically what I'm doing. And this is row 1 and 2. So I laid out the middle blocks first, 3, 4, 5, because that's about how much room I had in the narrow space. Then I laid out blocks. When I say blocks, I mean columns. I like to lay my quilts out in a column from north to south. Some people will do theirs east to west. My brain doesn't work like that. And what I do is when I'm creating something, all of the, say these are blocks 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I lay them out, and before I lay them out, I iron them. I have to iron everything. And I see you in the chat, Dolores. So to make sure that the seams nestle if they're coming together, I iron the seams in column 1. I always take the odd numbers like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I've had quilts with up to 25 rows going across. Of course, they were small blocks, but all of the ones, the rows ones, I iron the seams down. Rows 2, I iron the seams up. 3 down, 4 up, like that going across. But you don't have to. It's just a suggested way of keeping your quilt flat and trying to make sure that the seams come together again. So let's sew in my tiny space. I know what. Before we sew the rows together, I'm going to make a special block. This special block, I didn't know where I put this, is going to be the label block. Every quilt, and I'll put a solo thing up here in a minute. Every block I don't know if you can see it better or worse here. Every quilt has a story. This is not going to be the whole birth certificate on this quilt, but I have these beautiful labels. I can't hold them up because I got the wrong few. Yes, I will. I'm learning how to. You guys. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. It says original by Pankey with my 3 purple hearts. That's going to be on the signature block of this quilt. This will be on my mother's side of the bed, the very block all the way at the bottom, or maybe next to the bottom. No, the bottom, because she'll see it when she walks by her bed. Inside the quilt, I'll have where the quilt was made, the size, I don't have to put the quilter because this is an original by who? Pankey. If you are looking for labels, denim labels, any type of labels, excuse me, Unbiased made these, embroidered labels. She made them in denim for my special denim projects, and this is one of them. One of them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's what's going on this block. Then I'll lay them blocks 6 and 7 out on the floor. So let's go to solo layout. What I'm going to do here is find my handy dandy glue stick. Do I have to use a glue stick? No. I'm just OCD-ish, and I like things to I like things to stick. So this is the glue, and back to playing with the solo layout. All right. So I'm just going to just smear some glue. I don't know whether it's Dollar Tree or the good stuff that they overcharge you for on Amazon. You can see all the glue that's on it. And I'm just going to stick that to it so that it hopefully doesn't move around. So I know this block is 16.5 inches. So I'm going to go somewhere around here and put the label. And I'm so proud of this unbiased LLC Darth X in the bushes, as they say. Thank you for coming. We do what we got to do to make it work. So I always like to start on this side of when I'm sewing labels, because sometimes the short side, especially on tiny labels, this is not a tiny label. So I'm going to a couple stitches forward, a couple stitches back. I'm using a 2.5 millimeter stitch. I'm straight stitching. The width is on 0, and away we go. Now you're not even going to see the blue thread on here. I'm going to get as close to the edge as I can so it doesn't ravel up when mommy gets her quilt washed. Does mommy have to do laundry? Nope. 93 years old. It gets done for her. And guess what? When I get 93, I'm going to be alive to get mine done too. La, 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 la. Actually, the building I live in a 1-bedroom handicap apartment. I intentionally downsized from a homestead. I can't maintain one. I can barely maintain this 1-bedroom apartment by myself. So I'm turning this. Okay, back stitch. Da, 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 da. So, Ms. Unbiased LLC, I hope you're proud of what I'm doing with your beautiful labels. Trying to figure out the view. To stage. Da, 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 da. So, this will be the signature block. Oh, Lord, is it crooked? Might be. Oh, well, nobody's going to see it at the bottom of the bed. I don't think it's crooked. Maybe it's just the way I'm holding it. I hold everything crooked. Oh, well, if it is, Mother. My wife says she loves it. Thank you. Thank you. But the thing of it is, you guys, I own an embroidery machine. My place is small. I can take out one machine at a time. So the good news is that for the future, what you'll see in part of the content, you'll see me cooking more because I can stand more. And I found out that people cook sitting down, and I have the facility set up to do that as well, because I can't stand or walk a long time because of my knee surgery. Let me show you. Let me back up a little bit. I'm going to put this block with the label up because it's block 7. I'm going to sew 3, 4, 5, then 1, 2, and it won't all be on screen. But what I wanted to show you, because you guys can usually see, let me make me big. Hold on. Okay. So if I move my chair back, can you see? I don't know, but there's a black bag over there. You see that? Unbiased. I took it out of the corner. That is my baby lock embroidery machine, the hoop bag on top, and I have a whole bunch of hoops. And actually, in the future, you will see, you guys, this is actually a digitized part of my logo traditions. This is embroidery on my embroidery machine. This is a smaller digitized logo. You see the bag, woo woo. So the point is not showing the bag. The point is that I got it out so that Unbiased, when she made this label, she also sent me the um, the digitized part of it so that I can create it on my own machine. You know the part in the Bible where they say, "Don't feed a man, teach a man to fish." Don't give a man a fish, give a man a fish. So she enabled me to do that because the brother machines, for those of you who have a brother, and those who have baby locks, they use the same file extension, which is .pes. Very nice blue quilt, thank you. This took a lot of genes, Doncel, and everybody contributed. My Renaissance grandma sent me jeans. They talk about Big Rooster. Big Rooster sent me several pairs. My granddaughter Sharita Pankey collected a bunch. And it took a bunch. But the blocks that are 10.5 inches by 10.5 inches, some blocks are 6.5 by 16. That's the long one there. Okay, let me turn this one back on. Oh, I don't want to remove it. Hold on. Oh, okay. So that doesn't work. Hold on, you guys. I'm just trying to figure this out. So what I do is I take big pieces. So these blocks are the big blocks are 10.5 inches by 10.5 inches. The smaller blocks that I sewed onto it is 6.5 by 10.5. So I put the 10.5 inch sides together. So I put this one is 10.5 by 10.5. This one is 10.5 by 6.5. So there we go, you guys. You can see it. Forget the one with the 3.5 inch because we didn't need it for this quilt. Okay, I didn't want 18-inch blocks, that was too big. So the side piece is 6.5 by 16.5. No, not that kind of side piece, this kind of side piece. Okay, so now I like to generally sew 2x2s, but I'm going to show you how to sew a big column like this. This has 6 rows down, 16 inches. So let's go to that. Okay. So this is what I do. I have I have this rolled up, this entire column. I laid it out on the floor. So I'm going to start somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to take the pin out that's holding it. When I lay it out, I put one pin. Sometimes there's a little uneven piece, so I'm trying to see where to put this. So you see this little uneven piece? I'm going to cut that like that. And it's all good to make it fit over here. Uh-oh. Well, that's okay. You guys won't be able to see me pin it. Trying to figure out all these camera angles and views. So I like to put a pin at the end so that I make sure that the ends try to get there at the same time. But if you don't, you have that little piece, you can still clip it off. This has a tiny little piece sticking up. Tiny, tiny, tiny. I don't know why. I'm going to snip him too. Snip. Okay. So, without further ado, I'm going to show you my trick way of sewing these big long blocks. I'm using a 1/4 inch seam. For those of you who just came in, there's blue thread on the top, white thread on the bottom, so that I can show you what the blue thread is going to be invisible. And you don't have to, but because I had a long arm and I bought a lot of machine quilting thread, I'm actually using machine quilting thread. And if the edges aren't even, you're kind of holding them with your hand. But I'm going to show you the trick about connecting these long columns. Hold your questions for a minute, please, so I don't sew my hand. And I will answer your questions, but I'm showing you the quick way that I assembly line sew these big blocks. I'm going to backspace. So now I'm just going to go somewhere else and pick another block, right? So I think I'll pick this one is big enough to fit under the machine. So I'm finding a way to assembly line sew. I don't know. You all can see the needle. Maybe I need to put them. So maybe I can put them both on so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's what I'll do. Just trying it out. Just never been scared, never been scared of a dare. Never been scared. Never in my life. I don't know how to be scared. I'm too busy scheming, trying to figure out how to make things work. Okay. So this is the block, but I'm sewing the wrong edge on. So I'm going to put you here. And this is going to enable me to chain piece. I call it assembly line sewing because you guys will best know what I'm talking about. Oh, I like these two cameras like this. Thank you so much, you guys, for encouraging me to do this. For encouraging me. Shh, Hershey, no. Let me mute this for a minute. Backspacing, you guys. So I'm sewing the first set of blocks to a second set without stopping, without cutting the thread. So now I'm cutting the first set of blocks loose, and I'm just continuing to sew. And I do this until the whole column is sewn. Ouch. Yes, I stuck my finger. It's not fatal. That's what happens when you quilt. My mom doesn't like to quilt. She doesn't like getting stuck. She doesn't like getting stuck. Okay. Before I do the next block, let me show you the one that I just sewed. You see the, I know you can't see it clearly, the white stitches. I'll hold it up. Vision preparedness. Nephew, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Wellness with Frugal Mama. I see you high stepping and stuff in the mornings. I be doing mine in the background. I do my PT. Oh, guess what? I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I pull my abs in. You see that chair? That chair has what they call a desk cycle to it. And the desk cycle is what I do after I do my weights and stuff in the morning. So now what am I doing? I'm going to find another block that I can reach and sew together without stopping. Of course, it goes faster if you're not talking like me. So I'm on the next block. I only have 5 seams to sew because there are 6 blocks in this row. So I did 1 or 2. So there are only a couple. But this is how you chain piece in a small place. You don't need a lot of room. This is like tiny home living, except it's an apartamento. And I actually have a considerable amount of space because it's 800 square feet, but a lot of it is storage. I have a lot of storage. Under my sofa is raised. Underneath there is storage. My bed, I have a full-size bed. It's raised. Underneath there is storage. I have an antique hospital bed. Why? Because when I get old, all they gonna have to do is send me a nurse and somebody to clean up, and I can stay here. This will be my nursing home at some point. Right here. So now I'm back spacing, going back, cutting the seam that connected those other 2. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? I want to show you what this looks like when it's finished. So now I'm looking on the same piece for a seam that is not sewn, and I'll go to the bottom one. Because I want to show you guys this, and it's only a couple more minutes. I appreciate each and every one of you. For those of you who have channels, Vision Preparedness, let us know if you're going live tonight. Drop your channel in by typing !GQUAT. And I can't wait to show you because these blocks are so interesting. They're made with old upcycled jeans. Some of them are pieced together. The blocks are pieced together with pieces of jeans. Those are the prettiest ones, the nicest ones. I don't know why I repeat things. Probably because I couldn't think of the next thing I was going to say. And instead of saying I just repeated. I guess one thing is just as bad as the other, right? Okay. And these jeans are a little stretchy. I could have put a stabilizer on the back, but why? It's still going to have this batting, a light batting, because I like when the quilting is put on it. I will send this to, you see I backspace there. I will send this to a long arm long arm quilter. So this block is sewn. This block is sewn. This block is sewn. Okay, this one gets detached from the Siamese twin. I think you can see that by doing it this method, almost all of it is sewn except for one more block. And I wasn't sure I could reach it, but this is a 16-inch block, so it will reach. So I'm taking the pin that I had just holding it together and turning it so that, so where was I? Turning it so that I can sew right sides together. So I'm going to put one pin in the end. So those of you making quilts, Unbiased LLC, I know that you recently made a big quilt. You had it hanging on your wall, your first quilt. Maria Graham, I know that you make quilts. When you lay them out, this is one way. And you see, by doing it this way, you don't have all that thread that you're wasting between blocks. By chain piecing, let me make sure I have these seams together. I'm so excited to show you guys this whole thing. I'm so excited that I finally got 2 cameras to work. So when I do my lemon pie, my no bake lemon pie on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, I don't know how many cameras I'll have then, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. And you guys, when you're sewing jeans, the jeans will ravel. I could go back and trim these. I don't really have time because I was trying to get this to the long armor before Mommy's birthday, but I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay, so this part is finished, but I could take these scissors and trim these. I may do some trimming when I do the thing, but look at this, you guys. Let me make this one solo. Okay, so now look what we have. Miss Shirley, Sis, OG Gardner. Vision Preparedness goes 8 p.m. live tonight. I'm talking about, nobody's calling you, sir. Nobody is calling you, Mr. Hershey. He's being needy. He wants to be picked up. But Nana's busy. I'm sorry, sir. So, this is what this section of the quilt looks like. I'm going to put it over my shoulder and keep pulling it up and keep pulling it up, keep pulling it up, and keep pulling it up. But the point is, thank you, Unbiased, thank you, each of you. So I won't sew all of this on camera. I'm going to cut it loose, but I just wanted to show you how you can do big pieces in a small space. I laid this one out on the floor. I will post in the chat. I have some pictures of it. Oh, actually, the thumbnail. The thumbnail was this quilt laid out on a little section of the floor in here between the dining area and the living area and my studio area. I actually have a room over here. It's a small room, like 8 feet by 12 feet, and I'm sitting just outside of it on a table, but I'm making it do what it do. It's like having a studio with everything in it that you ever wanted to do, so that you could paint, you could draw, you could do anything and live there, eat, sleep, and do everything. So I love it. Are there any questions, you guys? Okay, stay tuned don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it out if you like the content. I actually have 1,986 family members. When I get to 2,000, I will be doing a big giveaway. And the giveaway will include a lap quilt from Maria Graham, a tote that I use. Anbaya said she uses her living room floor for big projects. Donia Wagner says number one. You know what else? You can use your bed. I use my bed sometimes, but I wanted to take a nap on my bed that day, so I used the floor. Use whatever you have. You can go outside and use the grass. You can use your driveway. You make it do use what you have. So if you guys will stay for the outro. Oh, no, no, no. I know what I want to do. I want to thank the moderators and then the outro, because I wouldn't have a channel without the moderators. You guys have taught me how to use all these cameras, how to do all this other stuff. But I want to thank the moderators. As soon as I get down to my fingers are so slow. Be right back. How I downsize. Oh, here we go. There we go. So now it's time to say goodbye to all my lovely friends. And you see, Auntie Ellen did all the stuff herself. For those of you who think that Dolores does the channel, I actually do it. I'm just slow. I'm just slow. When she jumps in to help me. So I love you, and I hope to see you on Saturday at 6 p.m. I'm kind of awkward with this mouse. I don't have a mouse on this one. So thank you. Peace, love, and blessing. Huh. Did it go? No.